Okay. Good morning to everyone. Myself, I am Surya Narayana, working as an assistant professor in DBSIT Kavali. Today, I am going to explain Unit 2 in Steam Power Plant. In previous class, we completed about Steam Power Plant. What is the definition for Steam Power Plant and what are the purposes on it? Next, coming to handling, coal handling and ash handling about Steam Power Plant. Today in this class, we will discuss about combustion equipments. What are the combustion equipments and firings, hand firing and automatic firing? What is the difference between overstroke feeders to understroke feeders? Okay, we will see that in PPT. First of all, in previous class, we discussed about steam power plant. Coming to steam power plant, which converts chemical energy of fuel, that means coal, oil or gas, into mechanical or electrical energy. Okay, in this, first of all, we are sending the fuel by means of coal or oil or gas. After then raising the steam into the boiler, then the steam is drives the turbine. Then turbine is coupled or connected with generator. Then automatically the generator starts running. After running, the mechanical energy which converts into electrical energy by means of generator. After it's supplied to grid system. This is the principle of steam power plant. And coming to layout of steam power plant. In layout of steam power plant, we covered about 4 circuits. One is coal and ash. This circuit is completely first circuit, coal and ash. Next, second circuit is the air and gas. And third one is the feed flow water. And fourth one is the cooling water circuit. These are the 4 circuits included in layout of steam power plant. These are all the circuits we are completed in last class about what is coal and ash and what is air and gas and what is feed flow water and what is cooling water circuit. Today in this class, we are going with combustion equipment for steam boilers. First of all, what is combustion? We already know that combustion takes place by using certain fuels like in automobile vehicles, we are using diesel or petrol for combustion. By using of coming to diesel engines, we are using fuel injectors. Coming to petrol, we are using spark plugs. In this power plants, we are using for combustion, we are using equipments here. The combustion equipment is a component of the steam generator. The source of heat is the combustion of fuel. Here we are using mostly the solid fuels and fluid fuels. Coming to solid fuels, we are using bituminous coal. Coming to fluid fuels, we are using like petrol and gaseous fuels or natural gas and other gases, producer gas and etc. In this, for solid lump fuels, we are using strokers for firing. For fluid fuels, we are using handled by burners. In boiler plants, hand firing on grading is practically difficult. He says that in that combustion equipment, up to now, for small scale industries, they are using hand firing. That means the combustion which takes place by using of hand firing, like manual feeding. But here we are using bituminous coals. The compositions composed of a hydrocarbons, coal, and as well as much fixed carbon and little sulfur. To burn these fuels, that desired end products, carbon dioxide and water requires air in sufficient proportions and good mixing of the fuel and air is required. That means in olden days, they are using hand firing, but in coming to modern high pressure boilers, we are using supercritical boilers and those boilers and are used in steam power plants. For that, manual firing is very difficult in steam power plants to start the combustion. For that reason, In modern power plants, we are installing the feeders and stokers. The basic requirements of a combustion equipment coming to through mixing of fuel and air. That means the requirements of combustion to take combustion by using of certain fuel mixing ratio. That is the first point. And the optimum fuel air ratio leading to most complete combustion possible maintained over full load range. That means we have to reduce the fuel air ratio. Why? Because it is already in combustion. For that reason, it is not requires high load of fuel air ratio. For that reason, we have to reduce the fuel air ratio after full load range. Next, ready and accurate response of rate of fuel feed to load demand. It is based on load demand, where it has maximum demand occurs, then fuel feeding is increased. Continuous and reliable ignition of fuel. Continuous fuel supply is required for ignition takes place. Practical distillation of volatile components of coal and adequate control over point of formation and accumulation of ash when coal is the fuel. When we are using the coal as a fuel, the control over point formulation and accumulation of ash is collected in backside of the boiler. Over point control formation and accumulation of ash. It is a very important point while we are using the coal as the fuel. Continuous supply of the fuel. That means it is related to solid or fluid. Why? Because if ignition is required, then we have to supply the continuous fluid in the form of solid or liquid or gaseous to the furnace. These are the basic requirements. Depending on the type of combustion equipment, boilers may be classified as follows. We have already three types of fuels. One is solid and the second one is the liquid. Coming to the third one, gaseous fuels. In solid fuels, first of all, hand fired and stoker fired and pulverized fuel fired. Hand fired is the manual firing system. Coming to stoker fired, those are again classified into overfeed stokers and underfeed stokers. And third one is the pulverized fuel fired system. In this, they are classified into three types: unit system, central system, combination of unit and central system. Okay, today in this class, we will discuss about hand fired and stoker fired. Pulverized will be discussing later. Liquid fuel fired system, injection, evaporation, combination, gas. Coming to gaseous, atmospheric pressure, high pressure. Okay, today in this class, we will discuss only about overfeed and underfeed. These classifications will be discussed in later classes. Combustion equipment for solid fuels. Selection consideration. First of all, the combustion equipment can be selected by using of following these considerations. Initial cost of the equipment. Okay, initial cost or initial investment is compared to low. By selecting the good combustion equipment, sufficient combustion space is required to withstand high flame temperatures. Okay, space is required for a good combustion. Area of the grate is very high. Why? Because here we are using overfeed stokers or underfeed stokers. Operating cost should be less. Maximum smoke nuisance is compared to less while we are selecting combustion equipment. Flexibility of operation. Okay, other noises and nuisance are avoided. Can be selected for good combustion equipment. Arranges for through mixing of air with fuel for sufficient or efficient combustion. Okay, these are the considerations while we are selecting combustion equipment for solid fuel. Solid fuel in terms of coal, coke, bituminous coals or peats, etc. Burning of coal. Burning of coal, most commonly used methods for burning of coal. We already know that stoker firing and pulverized fuel firing. Stoker firing is a power operated feeding system. Power operated fuel firing system. Pulverized will be discussed later. The selection of one of the above methods depends upon the following factors: characteristics of the coal available, capacity of boiler unit, load fluctuations, station load vector. These are the selections. One of the above methods depend upon the following factors. By following these factors, we have to select it is suitable for stoker firing or pulverized fuel firing. Stoker firing is very less in construction, simple in construction compared to pulverized fuel firing system. The running costs are very less compared to pulverized fuel firing system. Stoker firing is very less. Maintenance and running costs are low. First of all, coming to stoker firing. Stoker firing is a power operated fuel feeding system, mechanism and grading system. By using stoker firing, cheaper grade fuel can be used. In this, compared to pulverized fuel firing system, in this we are using cheaper grade of fuel for firing. Efficiency is attained, higher efficiency is attained, less smoke is produced, less building space, can be used for small or large boiler units. Practically immune from explosions. Okay, explosions are very less compared to pulverized. These are the advantages by using stoker firing. And what are the disadvantages by using stoker firing? We'll see that. Coming to disadvantages, construction is very complicated. Okay, construction is very complicated in the stoker firing. In case of very large units, initial cost may be rather high than. But until now, I'm discussing about only small scale industries. Where it comes to large units, the initial cost may be initial investment may be rather higher than pulverized fuel. Sudden variations in the steam demand cannot be met into the same degree of higher degrees of temperature. And structural arrangements are not so simple. Surrounding floors have to be designed for heavy loadings. Why? Because here we are using two classifications. One is overfeed and underfeed stokers. Okay, we'll see that what is about overfeed and underfeed. Classification of stoker firing. Automatic stokers are classified into two types, overfeed and underfeed. In case of overfeed stokers, the coal is fed into the grate. That means the coal is fed into the gate above the point of air admission. In this, the black bar with white heads, I am showing that it is a grate. Okay, we are admitting the coal or we are supplying the coal is fed into the grate above the point of air admission. From this point, I am supplying the air to the into the grate. And in case of underfeed stoker, that one is similar to overfeed stokers, but in underfeed stokers, the coal is admitted into the furnace below the point of air admission. In this, above the point of air admission is supplied up to the flame. But coming to overfeed stokers or underfeed stokers, the air is submitted below the point of air admission. In this, first of all, we are supplying the primary air or water vapor. The air is taken from the atmosphere, it is supplied or admitted to the grate.
Sir, sound nerpalla, sir. Voice cut అయింది సార్.
వినపడుతుందా? ఇప్పుడు చూడు. హలో,
అమ్మాయికి నెట్ స్లోగా ఉంటుంది సార్.
వినపడుతుంది కదా?
మీ వాయిస్ క్లియర్ గా ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, నెట్ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది అయితే. Okay, coming to classification of stoker firing, we have two classifications in that, overfeed stokers and underfeed stokers. Coming to overfeed stokers, we are feeding the coal into the furnace above the point of air admission. And second one is the underfeed stoker. It is similar to overfeed stokers, but What is the difference between overfeed to underfeed is that in underfeed strokers, in this also we are submitting the coal into the furnace, but below the point of air admission. It is the difference between overfeed to underfeed. Okay, as its name implies, overfeed, that means above the air admission. Over means above the air, under means below the air admission. This is the difference between overfeed to underfeed strokers. First of all, we are submitting the air, or we are sending the air into the grate from bottom of the grate with the combination of vapor, water vapor into the grate. After then, the air is supplied to the grate and then air is heated. Why? Because the grate is already in firing point. The heated air passes through the ash. After then, the energy is picked from the ash content. Heat energy is picked from the ash content. Then the air is heated. After then, the air is further passes through the incandescent coke. If the air is come in contact with incandescent coke, in that point, the carbon is mixed with oxygen. That means the carbon is in that incandescent coke point. The heated air is come in contact with incandescent coke point. Then carbon is contact with oxygen. At a certain point, carbon is contact with oxygen. Carbon dioxide has formed in this point, and CO is also produced in that point. After then, again it passes through, further passes through green coal. In that point, here I am showing that CO2. CO2 is produced in that incandescent point, incandescent coke point, and after then O2, nitrous oxide, and water. Nitrogen and water. After then, again the heated air is passed through green coal, then flame has to be started. This is the principle of overfeed stroker. First of all, the air enters into the grate. From these points, spaces, from these spaces, we are supplying the primary air with the combination of water vapor. First of all, the air enters into the grate. First of all, the air enters with cool points. Cool air is enter into the grate. After then, it enter into the grate. The heat energy is added to the air. After it is again heated, then it is passed through ash. The heat energy is taken from the ash content. After then, it further passes into the incandescent coke. At the incandescent coke point, carbon is mixed with oxygen. Then carbon dioxide is produced. After then, CO is also produced in that point. Then again it passes through green coal. Then automatically flame produces. This is the principle of overfeed stroker. Okay, coming to types of overfeed strokers, we have three types of classifications are there in traveling grade stroker type. In traveling grade stroker type, we have chain grade stroker type, spreader stroker type. In traveling grade, these traveling grade stroker is again classified into two types, chain grade type and bar grade type. These two are similar to traveling grade stroker, spreader. In this class, we will discuss about chain and spreader traveling. Okay, chain traveling grade or chain grade type or bar grade type. These three are similar in between traveling grade stroker. First of all, traveling grade stroker, it is the stroker may be chain grade type or bar grade type. These two differ only in the details of grade construction. Okay, in this, the grade construction may be changed here, and remaining all are same to the chain grade stroker type. In this figure, I am showing that chain grate stroker type. In this, first of all, a endless continuous chain is shown here. Endless continuous chain is shown here for transferring the coal from one point to another point. First of all, the chain is fixed upon two stroker wheels. Sorry, sprocket wheels. The chain is fixed on two sprocket wheels. One is in front of the furnace, one is in front of the furnace, and second one is the rather side. That means back side of the furnace. One is in front and the other one is the rather side of the furnace. Then first of all, we are supplying the air, primary air through grates. First of all, we are supplying the air through grates. Here I am fixing. Here they are fixing the air ducts for cleaning the air and enters to the grate. After that, air is supplied to the grate. Then we are supplying the coal here with sufficient air and coal. We are supplying here solid fuel with air. Then automatically the combustion takes place on grates here. This is the principle of chain grate stroker. This is simple in construction. Okay, the speed in this, one is driven sprocket wheel and one is the driver sprocket wheel. One is driving, one is driven. In this, the speed of the sprocket or the speed of the stroker is 15 to 50 centimeter, 15 to 50 centimeter per minute here. It is simple in construction, self-cleaning, and maintenance or running costs are very low compared to other type of strokers. But complicated preheated air temperatures are required. Then above 200 tons per hour, it is not limited or suitable or compatible, not compatible. These are the disadvantages of chain grate stroker. Advantages are simple in construction. Okay, simple in construction, capital cost is less, running costs and maintenance costs are very less, self-cleaning. Coming to disadvantages, preheated air temperatures are required. Then about 200 tons per hour, it is not suitable. Clinker effects are high in chain grate strokers. Next, coming to spreader type. Spreader type are also similar to chain grate stroker, but what is the difference between chain grate to spreader stroker? It is in that spreader stroker, we are not supplying the coal. We are not feeding the coal into the furnace directly. It is only supporting structure to the stroker. We are supplying the coal into the coal hopper. Okay, here I am showing that from where we are supplying the coal into a spreader stroker. First of all, we are submitting the coal or we are admitting the coal from the coal hopper onto the rotating wheel. It is nothing but feeder. Okay, from that coal hopper, we are submitting or admitting the coal or feeding the coal upon the feeder. It is a rotating wheel. It is feeding the coal into the furnace or grate. Then in this, I am showing a spreader here. By using spreader, we are splitting the coal into the number of pieces. From under point, we are submitting the air by means of spaces. Small spaces we are using to submitting the air. Here, air duct is showing here. Air duct is for cleaning the unwanted particles here. To avoid the unwanted particles, here we are showing air duct here. It is under air passing point. It is the overfire airing point. Okay, what is the difference means? In chain grate, we are supplying from under point of the grate. the air is admitted from bottom point of the grate. Then coal is supplied to the onto the grate. Then automatically by passing air onto it, the coal is ignited. After then combustion takes place. It is the chain grate stoker. In spreader stoker, as its name implies, spreader means it spreads the coal onto the grate. Okay, spreader means it spreads the coal by supplying the feeder from coal hopper. It is the principle of spreader stoker. We are supplying the air, fresh air from the bottom of the grate. Air duct is also shown here. It is also spreader type is similar to chain grate type, but chain grate type we are using chain here, but in spreader we are using spreader equipment here. By using spreader stoker, advantages are it is also simple in construction. Maintenance costs are very less. What are the disadvantages by using spreader stoker? That means fly ash content is very high compared to chain type stoker. Spreader stoker gives more amount of fly ashes here. Why? Because here we are using spreader type. By using spreader type, ash content is fly ash contents, not ash content. Fly ash content is very high when it compared to chain grade type or traveling grade type. Okay. This is the spreader type stoker system. Okay, these are the classifications of traveling gate stoker type under over field stokers. One is traveling gate. In traveling gate, we have chain grate and bar gate, and third one is the spreader stoker. In next class, we will see that the under type feeders are under stokers. Okay, thank you students. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to DBS Talks YouTube channel.